When most people hear the name Niall Horan, they either remember his days with One Direction, maybe songs like Slow Hands or This Town, or simply just don't know who he is, which I think is pretty insane considering just how talented he is. So let's talk about it. On September 13th, 1993, Niall James Horan was born in the small Irish town of Mullingar to parents Bobby and Maura, along with his older brother Greg. Life changed quickly for Niall and his brother, as at age 5 his parents divorced, and so they lived with their mother for a year, and then later moved in with their father. Although Niall loved sports, he wasn't exactly built to be an athlete, since he had asthma, and upon that 2 not so great knees, which honestly was perfect for someone interested in music. When Niall was 4 or 5, he saw the Eagles in concert and thought, hey, I want to do that. But it wasn't until he was 11 or so that he really started on his own musical journey. Around that time, his brother got a guitar that he pretty much tossed aside, and out of curiosity, Niall learned to play, and eventually developed a passion for it, teaching himself with YouTube tutorials. Turns out that he was not just good with a guitar. He could also sing a bit early on, with his aunt even confusing his singing with the radio while they were in the car together. Fast forward a bit, and as a teenager, Niall performed at the Mullingar Arts Center during a fundraiser for the local football team, the Shamrocks. Over time, little by little, Niall's talent was being discovered by those around him, but it really wasn't until he bagged the support slot from a former X Factor contestant Lloyd Daniels at the Academy Club that things got real. In 2010, as only a 16-year-old, Niall auditioned for the X Factor in Dublin, singing the song So Sick by Neo, and let's just say that he got a very mixed reaction from the judges.
I think you're adorable.
You have charisma. I just think that maybe you should work on it. You're only 16.
After getting 2 yeses and a no, it was really on Katy Perry, crazy enough to decide his fate. And although she thought he needed more time, Katy saw potential in him and eventually voted yes. After that, Niall was then put through a boot camp, and during it sang Oasis's Champagne Supernova, but failed to qualify. For many, this would be the end. But after a suggestion by guest judge Nicole Scherzinger, he was put in a group with 4 other boys who had failed to move on, but were just too good to be let go. Interestingly enough, it was Harry that came up with the name One Direction because he thought it sounded good when the announcer read it before they performed, and it stuck from there. Looking back, you would think that the group won the whole competition, but in reality, they ended up in 3rd. Although after the show, they still got signed by Simon Cowell to a £2 million record deal. For 5 working class kids, it was life-changing, and upon that, the beginning of one of the most insane rises in musical history. You all know what happened next. 1D became the biggest thing since sliced bread, took over the world, and then went on a quote-unquote hiatus, which is when Niall's journey as an artist really began. While with One Direction, Niall was overlooked by many, as Harry and Zayn took most of the spotlight, so there were a whole lot of unknowns about what he would do as a solo artist. But nonetheless, on September 29th, 2016, he released the song This Town, and let's just say that he proved that he was much more than capable on his own.
Everything comes back to you.
Fast forward some time, and then on May 4th, 2017, Niall released his second single, Slow Hands, and that August went on tour to promote his first album, Flicker. The album did well and solidified Niall as a great solo artist, although not getting the same recognition as former bandmates Zayn or Harry. For a working class kid out of a small town in Ireland, it was a perfect spot for Niall, so even though his sophomore album, Heartbreak Weather, didn't put up numbers close to Harry's Fine Line, it displayed his versatility as an artist that much more than his debut. Don't get me wrong, Niall has a fanbase for himself, his songs do well, but he's simply not given the attention that he deserves for how talented of an artist he is. His most recent album, The Show, features some of the most authentic and unique songwriting out there, and even though it's doing well, he's still not all that known outside of those who have followed him since One Direction. I'm sure Niall doesn't care at all, and I'm sure that he doesn't mind that he's not in the public eye quite like his bud and Harry Styles. But that doesn't change the fact that he's extremely underrated for how talented of an artist he is. Maybe it's because he stays out of the news, maybe it's because he doesn't create any drama, but either way, Niall is a one-of-a-kind artist, and I think he deserves to be seen as one. Thanks for watching this little video. Subscribe and like for more stuff like this.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.